that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
What are you, nuts? 85% of the people do not know how to get out of the market. They lose money because they don't know when to get out. I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. I solved that with my Pro 2 color-coded chart. It tells you when to get out. It tells you when to get in, tells you what to add, not to add. Specifically, when do I get out? It tells you that. Check it out. Go to my site, philsgang.com. Get your 10-day free trial of my Pro 2 color-coded chart and a membership.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. You're not alone. 80% of those in the stock market, just like you, lose money. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Why do they lose? Because they don't know how to short stocks in a down market. That will change once you use my patent Pro 2 color-coded chart. It works. The technology works. And it not only gives you an edge on the upside, but Pro 2 will put a smile on your face on the downside. That's right. Check it out. Free 10-day trial at philsgang.com. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy of philsgang.com. You know, over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. You know, I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records. And the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The Stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grandy.
People are feeling flush in their accounts, spending more than our income coming in.
You know how long ago that was? That's where the problem started, when people were spending more money than they're taking in, because they kept interest rates too low for too long. And now after 13 years, we're paying for that. And I've always told you that this would happen. You can't keep interest rates too low for too long. There's going to be great consequences. Great consequences. But here, I got so upset today when I hear again Elizabeth Warren. I mean, you talk about a dope. Listen to this.
If there'd been appropriate regulation, that mismanagement would have been caught before it blew those banks up.
Oh, I see. If we had more regulations, this would have never happened. Yeah, SVB would have never gone down. No, that's it. Really.
You've got Barney Frank on the board of one of the failed banks, Mary Miller, who was the senior treasury official, also a Baltimore mayoral candidate. She's on the board of SVB. Obviously the head of SVB, Greg Becker, he was on the board of the San Francisco Fed, which looks totally asleep. We're not really sure what their examiners were doing.
No, you're wrong. Warren's got it right. Wasn't enough regulations. I mean, I wonder what regulations that you put in place where you take Barney Frank, not a dumb guy by any means. Oh, and what about Yellen, her girlfriend? Yeah, Yellen's girlfriend. She appointed, God, they've been together for years. What's her name? Mary Miller. She was in the Treasury Department with Yellen. Yellen's the one that appointed her to sit on the board. So all these people, they're sitting around and they didn't know? Of course they knew. They didn't do anything. They didn't do anything because they knew what the plan was. Let these banks go down. We talked about this yesterday. The plan always is, let the regional banks go down and then the big banks pick them up. But go back to Elizabeth Warren. Why does she blame Reagan? Why didn't she just blame Reagan for all this? No, she's blaming Trump. And she wants another January, she's saying another January 6th like hearing for Trump, because this is all his fault. No, this all started back with Reagan, 1981, when he created all this inflation. We did for a short period of time, for about 4 or 6 months. QE, right? Any person who sits on the Senate Banking Committee, if you're a senator and you sit on a Senate Banking Committee, as she does, Warren does, and she sat on many sub-banking committees, for her to claim the responsibility of the bank blow-up rests with Trump and easing bank regulations. And the solution is more regulations. You know what that really identifies? Just like her boss. She's just like her boss. Has no moral sense about the truth. No moral sense about the truth. Not one little bit. To come out, I mean, that is so stupid. No regulation would have got Barney Frank to get off his butt while he's making a lot of money. Remember, this proves again, nobody's in Washington looking out for us. The people that sit on the boards, they don't look out for you. My local town, We want to see the dopes they have on these bank boards. Unbelievable. Some of the dumbest people. Oh, they belong to the Chamber of Commerce, and he has a cookout with this guy. I mean, just stupid, dumb people. People have no idea what's going on here. See, in 2008, you can trail this all the way back to 2008. Today's trouble started in 2008. When you look at the $8 trillion that was wiped out in home and stock equity in 2008. Remember what happened? 2009, Wall Street puts in Obama, right? Puts Obama into the Oval Office. Now remember, boy, how people forget. Remember the promise that he made to Wall Street. Remember what he made? He made a hell of a promise to these gangsters. Hey, you put me in office, don't worry. I'll tell you what. I promise. I'm not going to go into a recession. I won't do that to you. I won't go into a recession. And that's one of his promises. No recession. Remember, these guys wanted to claw back their money. They got hurt too in 2008. So they wanted to claw back their money as quickly as they could, Wall Street. So Wall Street puts him in office, Obama, with the promise there's not going to be a recession. Because recessions are the best thing to do, because you force everybody to clean up their balance sheets, including the banks, the largest corporations. And it takes about a year and a half, and it's a lot of pain. But then you come out, everything's much better. But these guys didn't want to go through that. So when they put Obama in the Oval Office, the promise was, okay, I'm not going to put this in a recession, but instead we'll do QE and we'll do stock buybacks. Because these guys were looking to claw back their losses quickly. And that is one of the most inflationary programs, because you got to print money. You got to print money. Remember, Reagan did this in 1981. Remember, when he took over from Jimmy Carter, he had a brutal inflationary economy. Brutal. It was awful. So remember, it was illegal. Stock buybacks were illegal. He made them legal, I think, I'll just guess. He made them legal for 6 to 8 months, and then he stopped. And when Obama and Bernanke introduced QE, they said the same thing. We know this was illegal. We know we're only going to use this for about 3 months, 4 months the most. It's just to do what Reagan did, just to get the economy propped up a little bit, to help us prop this economy up, and we'll be fine. 13 years later, they still have QE. Don't have zero rates, but they still have QE. So QE, when you print money to drive interest rates to zero, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind when you do that. Now, why did they do that? Well, because the Federal Reserve gave their 5 largest banks, their member banks. Remember, the Federal Reserve controls J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, Citi, and Wells Fargo. So when Obama got into the Oval Office, he turns around, and Bernanke, who now is the head of the Fed, he made sure he got him on the Fed board because he had to take care of his boys on Wall Street. They took J.P. Morgan, all these banks, these what are they, 6 banks, 7 banks, these investment banks, and they printed all this money, gave it to those banks, and those banks gave the money at zero rates to big tech companies. The QE program they put in was for the companies, the big tech stock companies, to buy their own shares back. Because remember, the fewer outstanding shares a company has, earnings will go up. Share price go up without having to have a corresponding increase in profits or earnings. You don't need profits. You don't need earnings with QE. It goes up automatically. But you got to stop this quickly. You can't let it go on for 13 years. I mean, this is insane. She is blaming the wrong people. She's a fraud. Join my gang, Phil's gang. You'll always be on the right side of the trade.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Phil Grandy has successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free. If anything, during that 10-day period, you're going to learn how the market really works. You're going to find information that you never had before. You're going to walk away and go, I didn't know that. So join my gang for 10 days free, philsgang.com. And you're also going to learn how to make money when the market goes down. It's kind of silly just sitting there when the market going down, hoping. Why hope when you can sell short and make money? Either way, you make money when the market goes up, you make money when the market goes down. That's the benefit of Phil's Gang. You make money.
Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level.
philsgang.com. Sign up free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. I'll share with you what I shared with my members this morning. I said, you're going to see they're going to be trying to create a rally Thursday and Friday here, and even maybe Monday. And all you have to do is go look at the Qs. Okay, pull up the Qs on your chart. And I'm going to do that right now. So if you're watching, you can see it. Excuse me, the Qs. All right. And remember what they've been doing all week. All week they've been pushing down. If you go look at the 10-year Treasury yield, go look at their chart. All week they've been pushing that yield down, Okay, all week long, trying to push the market up, trying to push the Qs back up. See how they're doing that today? And then they're going to start telling everybody, buy in a dip. And everybody's going to fall into that again, buy in a dip. They know, as I told you yesterday, or I told you, excuse me, on the 13th, on Monday, if the Qs break through the low of Monday of 285, we're going right down through that October low. So they've been artificially pushing this market up by pushing those yields down. And the interesting thing was, when you go and look at the bond chart, it's real interesting because you can see, if you go back to what was it, Tuesday 14th, you can see how they've been pressuring down the 10-year Treasury yield. We were down from 401 down to 354, and yet remember, the market didn't rally. Usually, when you push those down that much, the market's going to rally. It didn't. But what happened today? They were pushing it down all day, but then about an hour ago or so, all of a sudden, naturally, what happens? The yields, okay, start going back up because that's the natural course of yields because we don't have any buyers. When you're pushing the yields down like they have been since Monday to try to make sure the Qs don't drop through that what is it, the 13th? Yeah, through the low of March 13th, and they keep doing that, you would think the stock market would go right up, 800 points, 1,200 points. No, it was still down 300 points with all that severe downward pressure. But how it works, remember, when you're looking at the 10-year Treasury chart, the yield chart, you got to remember, it's like turning to Queen Mary. It takes time. So today, all of a sudden, instead of the yields going down, the yields start going back up. And that means what we have right now, we're up 349. That'll usually start paring that back. It'll start pulling that back. Okay, so they're playing this game right now. So for the next, if you know how to work your bond market, how to interpret it, you're going to know exactly what to do. You're going to, everybody's, well, I wonder what the market's going to do. My gang members don't have to understand, worry about that. They know exactly what it's going to do because we taught them how to take the bond chart, how to interpret it, so that they're always out in front of whatever that bond market does, because it's the bond market that determines whether your stock go up or down. And that's why it's a good reason to join the gang, even if you just learn how to do that, plus short. I mean, you learn that over the 10 days that are free, for God's sakes. So to get back, as I said, this is ridiculous. She is putting the blame on Trump. When you have on the board of SVB that went bust, Barney Frank, Mary Miller, who came from the Treasury Department, best friends with Yellen. You also have on that same board a person who's on the board of the San Francisco Fed. You don't get any higher than that. You have the same people. So those are top-notch executives. They all knew what was going on. They all knew that from 2008 to 2014, they kept zero rates. Remember why they do the zero rates? So that they can push up the growth stocks, the tech stocks. They artificially push down those rates to artificially push up the growth stocks. You can't do that with value stocks. So they created a con that, remember, Reagan only used for about 3-4 months. He did the same thing. They did it for 13 years, pushing down the yields, okay, so that the growth stocks will rally. On the 2014, all of a sudden we start seeing the banks, especially the regional banks, 2014, start buying treasuries. They're around about, I think they're at that time, would you say it was about 2.4%? That was in 2014. So we went from 2008 to 2014, QE, printing all this money, high inflation, to go in and drag to push the rates down to zero by buying bonds. You push those rates down to zero, and the big tech stocks go up. Let me explain that to you. During this whole scam, remember, this used to be illegal, and it should be. Speculators, when they turned around, Obama and Bernanke, they're the ones that should be blamed. They're the ones who introduced QE, but he had no choice because that's the deal he made with Wall Street. So Wall Street are all speculators. So their deal was, we want to claw back the money we lost. Now, we can't do that with value stocks, but we can do it with tech stocks, which are speculated. Now, what does that mean? There's between a value stock and the tech stocks, the growth stock. Speculators, okay, Wall Street speculators, as long as they have access to zero rates or low rates, they don't have to justify that they're paying $19 for every $1 of earnings when they should be paying $12 for every $1. See, they don't have to justify because they're buying tech stocks. Tech stocks are speculative. But remember, if you are buying value stocks, and you have a portfolio they're handling for you and they're all value stocks, they can't sit there and say, you know what, we're going to pay $19 for every $1 of earnings, even though we know we should only be paying $10. You can't do that with value stocks. Somebody would be arrested. You can't do that. But you can get away with it with tech stocks. And that was the scam that was in place because tech stocks are all speculative. And then when did it blow up? And I'll tell you when we get back. And why we've been making money shorting.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When the stock market is volatile, how do you invest intelligently?
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. There's no need for you to be panicking in a market that goes up 800 points one day, 700 points, then it goes down again. All you need is good advice, need good direction. You don't get that from your CNBC and the Fox Business and all these crazy shows. You don't. Here's what you get from them. Thank you, Jim Cramer. But this is something that this really bugs me. Listen to this.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What? Their responsibility is to their partners and shareholders and not to you? Check my site out, philsgang.com.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need the experience of Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What a difference it makes in your financial life. philsgang.com. It works.
When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day it goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com. For many around the U.S., the weather is about to change. Longer days and warmer weather. Just as you prepare for weather changes, you need to be prepared for the changes in the market. And Phil Grandy is your daily guide for when you need to buy or sell and maximize your earnings. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and navigate the market with confidence with Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
What, are you nuts? Coffee's up 92%, lumber's up 67%, heating oil, what, 60%, gasoline 55%. I understand why you guys are telling me to raise my rates here at Phil's Gang, but we haven't raised our rates since 2001. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. I'm not going to raise my rates. Our membership's been $39.95 since 2001, and for a good reason. So that you have enough room that when you do make money here at Phil's Gang, and you will, because you're going to learn how to short stocks, that there's enough room to send some money to St. Jude. That's why we never raised our price. And that's why we give you good value. So, you want to continue with good value, good information, be on the right side of the market? Join my gang, philsgang.com, where the price has not moved, where we fight inflation. philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grandy and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratios. Those days are gone. That ended with QE. That ended when they financially engineered the market in 2008. Gone. Now you got to follow the money. And we have the knowledge because we have the chart. Pro 2 color code chart tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to run like hell.
For a limited time, you can join Phil's Gang free for 10 days.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Get the truth, get the knowledge, and understand how the market really works.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
If it's true that we have essentially nationalized the banks by telling every depositor, you don't have to worry about your money, it's good. If that's what I'm to believe, then what stops any manager, any black swan idiot bank manager from saying, let me get this right. I get compensated with equity. I'm in the stock option business. I get to take my depositors' money and do anything I want with it. The craziest ideas that are within the rules of banking. I can go to Vegas and put it all on red, and doesn't matter what happens, I'm covered. No matter how stupid I am, I'm covered. Now tell me what the outcome long term is going to be.
It would be very bad. It would be very bad.
It's going to be very bad.
I think the authorities got it about right, given...
Larry Summers, what a dope. All right. So, when you're in the market, you think about two different kind of groups. You think about value stocks, and those are usually like your healthcare, your Johnson & Johnson, those kind of stocks, your financials. When you think of value stocks, these are companies that people follow them for years, and then when all of a sudden they want to buy them when they think the value, has really dropped. The way it used to be years ago, I'll say in my old days, your broker would follow a group of value stocks. And when those stocks tanked, he would go in and buy them for you. And then we'd buy them and hold on for 5-10 years because all you do is just replace the management, okay? Value companies, okay, they're you try to buy them at a discount, and you have to follow them all the time, and you got to buy them on sale. Okay, so that's the value company. They could never do quantitative easing, which was the biggest con job, which was illegal for years. They could have never do QE, stock buybacks. You can't do it with value stocks. There's no speculators in value stocks. Now, I mean, yeah, that's right. They're into growth stocks. Now, growth stocks was what they selected in 2008, and they said to Obama, we're going to put you in the office, and then we got to get our money back. We want you to take the growth stocks, the big tech stocks. We need to go in and drive the interest rates down to zero, print all this money, the hell with the inflation you're going to cause, drop the interest rates down to zero. You got to get down to zero. So we can go in and we can buy these on speculation. Because that's all the big tech stocks, speculators go after them. See, a speculator doesn't care. If he's paying $19 for every $1 of earnings for, let's say, I don't know, let's say Intel. He doesn't care. From when they started to do QE, from 2008 to 2014, when they're doing QE and stocks went nuts, if a person bought Intel and he was paying $19 for every $1 of earnings when he should have been paying $8 for every $1, he didn't care. Why? As long as they had access to free money, zero rate money, low rate money, he didn't care because he knew somebody else would be right behind it. He can sell the stock to. And when he buys the stock, the next guy knows it's only worth $12 for every $1 of earnings. And let's say he paid $20 for it. He doesn't care because he knows there's going to be a whole line behind him that want to buy the stock. It was like this big gambling thing going on. Everybody knew they could buy it and sell it to the next idiot, It's like the game of the chairs, and all of a sudden you sit down, there's no chair left. That's what was going on from 2008 to 2014. 2008 to 2000. That musical chairs. That is why we are where we are today. But nobody's going to tell you the truth. It was a con job. You can't do that with Pfizer. If the guy that's taking care of your portfolio, if he looks at Pfizer and it's it's okay, they want $19 for every $1 of earnings, and really it should be, let's say, $17 for every $1. He's not going to buy it because he's a good manager. Those are value stocks. A whole different deal. So the biggest con job was Obama. If she wants to blaze it, it was Obama and Bernanke who said, now to make this work, remember, they needed zero rates. Well, how are you going to get to zero rates? You're going to print massive amount of money. You go to the Treasury and you buy bonds. And when you buy bonds, you push those those yields down. Remember, when you buy a bond, the yield goes down, and tech stocks love yields going down. They love low yields. So the trick was to keep doing QE that created the inflation we have today that blew up. You understand what's going on? We're being conned by everybody. Now, for all of us who've been through the crash in the 70s, been through the crash in 1987, we knew what was going on. What happened, and you understand what I'm saying? They could have never had the big tech rally of 1,200% from 2008 to November 2020. Remember, Reagan did the same thing, but he only did it for about 3-4 months because it was illegal. It was illegal. I mean, doesn't it make sense that it'd be illegal? I mean, think about it. You buy a stock, and you go in and you print all this money, and then you get this money, you borrow it. Doesn't cost you anything, and then what you do is, the key is when you keep buying that stock, the stock buyback. In other words, when they buy their own stock back, so I'm Intel. I'm going to buy my own stock back. So I go over to Bernanke. Hey, I need some money. Give me free money to buy Intel. So he gives me free money. I buy Intel. And when I buy Intel with this money, right, the more I buy, the value. You remember the value. The yield. I have less and less shares. What I'm trying to say. In other words, the way it works, if you have a certain amount of shares, say 1 million shares, the trick is to get the money from the Fed at zero or near zero, and then reduce the amount of shares in your company. When you have a public company, if you go in and reduce the number of shares, that means your earnings and your stock price goes up without having improved earnings or improved sales. Now you go in to the Fed, hey, give me some more of that money. I'm going to print more money here, okay? And so they give me money free. I own Intel. I'm CEO of Intel. I go in and I buy and I reduce more of my shares. So first I start out with 1 million shares. Now I reduced it from 1 million to 900,000 shares to 800,000. In the meantime, my stock keeps going up. Not because earnings went up or profits going. Matter of fact, earnings are going down, profits are going down, but the stock will keep going up. See the con job? That's why it was illegal. Of course it'd be illegal. I mean, think about that. All you had to do is keep reducing the number of outstanding shares you had in a stock. That's all the CEO had to do. The more he kept reducing that stock, the amount of shares, outstanding shares, the more the stock would go up, but you didn't need corresponding profits. If you had a stock that was at $10 and you sold $1 million worth of sales, the next month your sales went from $1 million down to $500,000, and you lost money, the stock would still go up. Because all the CEO has to do is go ahead, get money from the Fed near zero, and buy his own shares to keep knocking down the amount of outstanding shares that are available. This was the biggest con job in the world. Remember, Reagan only did it for 3 or 4 months because it was illegal. These guys did this for 13 years. But something happened in 2014. What was that? It sent a message to all of us who knew what the hell we were doing. I'll tell you when I get back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. For many around the U.S., the weather is about to change. Longer days and warmer weather. Just as you prepare for weather changes, you need to be prepared for the changes in the market. And Phil Grandy is your daily guide for when you need to buy or sell and maximize your earnings. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and navigate the market with confidence with Phil Grandy at philsgang.com.
Warning: Google, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, Facebook, all these hot stocks are going to crash. They're going to drop as much as 60-70%. Hi, I'm Phil Grandy, philsgang.com. Exactly what happened in the dot-com days is going to repeat itself. Remember, 85% of people lose money in the stock market because they don't know when to get out. I fixed that with my color code technology chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. That's right. Make sure you check it out. It's free for 10 days, philsgang.com.
You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have 2 people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right, follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grandy.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently? Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, advice, and software that will take your investing to the next level. Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy and sell to help maximize profits. Sign up for a 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hi, I'm Phil Grandy at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you a fan of the Phil's Gang radio show? Then you should check out philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
You know what the sad part is? Kramer, all these guys on the fake business news network, they knew what was going on, just like I knew what was going on. In 2008, when we got into that QE heavily, where they're doing stock buybacks so that the big guys on Wall Street could get their money back, they remember how they did QE? They did it based on growth stocks, tech stocks. So they didn't have to justify if they were paying too much for earnings. So if they paid $19 for every $1 of earnings, they should only have been paying $10 for every $1. Nobody cared, because there's always somebody behind you that's going to buy that stock from you because they're getting money free. They're getting, or at least low rates. It's like the guy who goes in and buys a trailer. He doesn't care about the price. He asks, what's the late charge? Well, that's exactly what this was like. Trailer buying. The stock business from 2008 to 2014 was like trailers, okay? Nobody cared about the cost. Nobody cared about value. Value stocks you couldn't touch, because that's a whole different deal. You're going to buy Pfizer or any of those. The guys who are managing your portfolio, hopefully they're good managers and doing what they're supposed to do. They're not going to play games. But, boy, you could play all the games you want with tech stocks, and they did. Now, when 2014 came, there was all of a sudden we see all the inflation. The problem becomes when in 2014, these banks, especially the regional banks, they're not making enough money because the 30-year fixed rate mortgages are so low. Okay, banks aren't making much money on their loans. So they got to that position in 2014. So in 2014, they decided, hey, I better start buying some 10-year treasuries here. So they started buying 10-year treasury at 2.2, 2.54, and they thought they were safe. This was 2014, right? Well, now remember what's happening. 2015, Yellen takes over, and she starts raising rates. She raises rates 2015, 2016, 2017. Now remember what's happening. Those banks that were buying 10-year treasury yields at 2.54 started to lose money. Now get this, they started to lose money in 2015, 2016. Everybody knew it. Barney Frank knew it. Mary Miller knew it. Yellen knew it. The woman on the San Francisco Fed who sat on SVB, she knew it. So 2015, it gets worse. Because now, then when she was raising rates, then all of a sudden 2015, 2016, then now you got the Fed starting to raise their short-term rate. And they made, when was the first time? I can't remember the first time they raised the short-term Fed rate. Maybe you can find that for me, Willie. But the first time they raised that short-term Fed rate, this was 2015 is when she started to raise them, right? Yeah, 2015. Okay. So she started to raise the rates 2015, 2016, 2017, and then these banks, all these banks, including SVB, were in trouble in 2015, 2016, 2017. Then Powell comes in 2018. What's he do? He knows what's going on. He knows these banks are losing their butts in buying treasuries because he knew inflation. He knew the Fed fund rate was going to go to 4.75, 5.5 when these people, SVB and all the other banks, the regional banks, are stuck with loans they bought treasuries at 2.54. Now, when he raised rates 2.64, they're losing money. 2.74, they're losing money. Now, remember, he started to raise rates when he came in 2018. So now they're starting to lose money. Now he panics. What does he do? He dropped the rates just back to zero. He dropped them back to zero in, well, you're going to tell me. He dropped them back to zero in 2020 started dropping back to zero because he knew they had everybody knew, all the Fed banks knew, Yellen knew, the Fed board knew, everybody knew that these banks were in deep trouble going back to 2016, 2017. Nobody said a word. No, because know what they said? Don't worry about it. We'll bail you out. This was the biggest. There's two con jobs. The QE, which they went against. What they're doing, what was once illegal, doing this QE, where you could push your stock price up and not have any profits. Then it got worse. Then they start in 2014. The banks start buying bonds because they're not making enough money on mortgages, so they're buying bonds at 2.54. Now they start raising rates. Yellen first. Between Yellen, 2015, 2018, they raised rates 8 times. 8 times. Now he knew. Powell knew. Yeah, he knew in 2018 these banks were heading to $600 billion in losses. Now think about it. And if you go look at the 2022 stress report, read through it. I mean, it's so friggin' boring, but read through it. Right in the 2022, they do it once a year, stress test. It says right there, the banks overall are in the hole $650 billion, but we're okay. So they knew in June of 2022 that they were upside down $650 billion. That didn't just happen last week. That didn't happen Friday. And then she comes out and says this. She comes out and tells us this crap.
If there'd been appropriate regulation, that mismanagement would have been caught before it blew those banks up.
She was a liar. She knew that the banks were upside down over $600 billion. She knew that in 2014. We're in 2023. She knew, at least if she's so dumb, she knew she's on the banking committee, Senate banking committee. She had to read that stress report in June of 2022 where it pointed out the banks are upside down $600 billion. She said nothing. Now she's going to blame Trump. Oh, we need regulations. No, if you opened your mouth in 2022, June, and said, wait a minute, whoa, I'm sorry. I haven't been reading these stress reports. Wow, the banks in this country are in the hole. $650 billion. So, she's a big liar. Everybody knew, but who were they protecting? They were protecting Biden. They were protecting Biden at all costs, just like they protect him from his kid. They protect him from everything. So they decided to sell you down the toilet. So you're sitting there, you're worried with your bank. Uh-oh, where should I move my money to? Do you think moving your money out of Joe Suckface Small Regional Bank to J.P. Morgan, you're going to be okay? Or you're going to move your money from the little national bank down the street, Joe Suckface Suck Your Toes Company, you're going to take that and move it to Morgan Stanley, you're going to be okay? And you got all these people doing that. They're all moving the bank money out of these banks, moving to these big, I'm okay. No, you're not. So where we stand today, this market is going to break through that October low so fast. So follow your 10-year Treasury yield. Join my gang. Follow the 10-year Treasury yield chart. Follow the Qs. Look at your Qs. Go QQQ. Go look at the Qs. I put them up for you. And look at the candlestick on March 13th. The low is 285. I think it was 285. Once it breaks that low, they can't stop it. So today, the reason why we're up 378 points, go look at your 10-year yield Treasury chart. Here, I'll show you what the crooks are doing. See, they've been pushing these yields down from yesterday morning, from 4 o'clock yesterday morning. They've been pushing the yields down, and they couldn't do it anymore. The yields started to go up around noon, and now we're back up to 357. But you shouldn't be buying stocks on that. See you on the chart. Join my gang. We'll help you with this.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grandy, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.